Yeah, so I'm going to speak a bit about some of the updates that you'll find to the Twinkl Phonics program, the SSP. Starting off with our No-Tech program and our SEND Phonics program. So first of all, No-Tech Phonics. So our No-Tech Phonics is our flexible alternative for delivering a Twinkl Phonics session without an interactive whiteboard or computer screen. So it replaces the lesson presentation element of our core provision. So if you wanted to use these instead of the lesson presentations, you can do that. They've been designed so that they provide the same exact teaching content and story elements at exactly the same pace. So if you were to have some groups working away from your interactive whiteboard, for example, they can keep pace with other groups using the main lessons still. So they would run alongside our core workbooks and mini books as well. They feature the same story-based approach. They don't require any technology, and they include a fully scripted lesson guide that walks you through the lesson in much the same way that the lesson presentations do. So one of the key resources involved is the prep kit. So the complete prep kit gives you everything that you need for each level in one handy download. So you can prepare all these resources from the prep kit prior to starting each level. So at the moment we have the level 2 kit on site, and the level 2 kit includes mnemonic posters, action cards, flashcards and sound mats, formation resources, tricky words and phoneme fams. And we've even included a 3D robot Rick model that you can build and use him to support your lessons for the children to interact with. He's good fun. So everything that you need, you simply download that and prepare all that in advance. And then week by week, you can simply download and print the lesson pack for that week, and all of your prep kit will be ready already in one place. So No-Tech for level 2 is available now. We got that out and released over the summer. Level 3 is due for release in a couple of months' time, sometime in October. And then level 4 will follow in the spring term of 2026. So if you start with level 2 teaching now this September, everything should be available on site at the appropriate time. So if you do have children starting on level 2 now, you should have all the resources you need now. Level 3 when you need level 3, and level 4 when you need level 4. So you have No-Tech resources for the whole academic year. So when you're on site, look out for the image over here on the left, our No-Tech delivery icon, which shows you all the No-Tech resources that you can find on site. So yeah, this is you'll find this on the landing page, take you straight to the No-Tech Phonics blog as well. And the No-Tech Phonics blog will tell you all about the resources, help you navigate to some of those as well, with links to everything that we've made. So all the No-Tech resources are also tagged with the sticker in the preview, so you can spot them right away. So you can find those on site by either looking amongst our lesson packs, looking out for the sticker, the No-Tech sticker that I showed you on the previous slide, and they all have No-Tech in the title. So if you look out for those up with the main lesson packs. Also on the bottom half of the landing page, we've put those in with our supporting resources. So you can filter by level, just like you normally would, and then select the No-Tech Phonics filter on the left-hand side, and that will pull up all of the No-Tech resources at the moment. Like I say, just for level 2, but when those level 3 and 4 resources come on site, that's where you can find those as well. So next, I want to talk to you briefly about our brand new SEND program. So this also has just been launched on site in the last couple of weeks. The first wave of resources are available now. So this aims to provide educators of learners with SEND planning that is better suited to their needs, but it's still based on the progression of the Twinkl Phonics program. So the resources that you can see here, just a quick snapshot. We've got an example of our level 2 GPC adapted planning and blending and segmented small step plan over on the left-hand side. We also have Apply Activities Pack, which will provide links to other existing Twinkl Phonics resources that support learners to embed teaching in a way that works for them. So a really multi-sensory approach is something that we've tried to include in every stage of this. We've also included a special ICANN statements version of assessment. So these statements can support practitioners delivering the SEND program with a really useful formative assessment document separate from the main phonics program assessment. So these statements are customized for finely graded steps of progress, which differ from the main statements. So for example, when you have children that are not making the same sort of progress through their GPC learning, you can track those statements that show the small graduated steps of progress that they can make, so that those can be shared with other educators or parents and families. Yeah, so you'll find all those resources on site. I'm going to show you how to find those. So the level 2 SEND resources can be found all in the bottom with our supporting resources. So once again, if you filter by level and then select the SEND resources filter on the left, you'll see that tick box there that says SEND resources. It will take you straight there. We've also included a link on the slides, which will take you straight to that category, showing all of those that are available. There will be further drops throughout the year, but at the moment, the first of those resources are on site now. Just keep an eye for the rest of the year. There'll be an entire year's worth covering all of level 2. And now I'm going to hand over to Joe.
Thanks, Simon. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'd like to share some of the news collections that the Rhino Readers team have been working on, ready for 25-26. You'll likely be aware that the Rhino Readers are the match decodable books for the Twinkl Phonics SSP. Our range is constantly growing. So here's what's on the way for this academic year. So this year, we're extending and developing the range of books we have to support Phase 1 phonics. And these books are matched to the topics and themes within Twinkl Phonics Level 1. But obviously, Phase 1 being Phase 1, they can be used prior to beginning any SSP. We've now got 24 of these books available to purchase. There will be a set of 36. The final set of 12 will be available in spring 2026. And then you'll have your 36 books, all supporting Level 1, Phase 1 phonics. So that's your full year of teaching. And all of our books here are storybooks, so we haven't got any wordless books in our Phase 1 range here, and that makes them easy for parents and carers to share at home, and as well as being great to share with a group in a setting as well. And they are quite a little bit bigger than the decodable books that we have for levels 2 to 6 as well, to help that sharing. Now, these books explicitly support the key phonological skills that are taught in Phase and Level 1. There are opportunities to explore, for example, alliteration, rhyme, body percussion, and oral blending and segmenting through the stories themselves as you read them. And one really great feature that we've included in the Rhino Readers Level 1 books is that each one contains a linked play the sound activity, and you access it by scanning a QR code in the book itself. So while you're sharing the book, adults can play real sounds to the children that complement the read. So that means that environmental sounds and instrumental sounds can be woven into your storytelling too. So they're really noisy reads, great fun to share. And like the other Rhino Readers books, they're available as ebooks that you can share on a tablet or an interactive whiteboard. And these ebooks can also be allocated to read at home using Twinkl Learner Login system. So lots of flexibility about how you can access these new Level 1 books. And another range that I'm really excited to share with you is our growing range of fully decodable books for Key Stage 2. So this will be, and it's very close to being complete now, a collection, I've really got 4 to go, 36 books spanning the full extent of the Decoders, Twinkl Phonics Decoders intervention program. It goes from week 3 of Level 2 all the way up to the end of your Level 6 teaching. And there's 1 book per week of teaching to reinforce the phonics and support with those key fluency and comprehension skills. Now, these books are inclusive and accessible for older learners. We've really tried to keep in mind the dyslexia and visual difficulties when designing them. So there's tinted backgrounds, different fonts to alleviate visual stress. And of course, there's a wide range of genres in the collection too. So you've got fiction, non-fiction, play scripts, diaries, and many of these books also feature a new character set we've put together to appeal to those older learners. And obviously representation and diversity are very much in mind all the way through the design and writing of these books. Now, like all our collections, they're accessible as ebooks. You can allocate them with those Twinkl Learner logins. And we're also working hard to create downloadable and interactive comprehension and word level activities to accompany these books. You might see that we have these already for the main scheme, that's EYFS in Key Stage 1. We're now developing these for the Decoders books as well, and they'll be interactive as well as printable. So watch out for those. They'll be coming on site over the autumn term. And the very exciting news this year is that we're aiming to have this set available in print, and we're aiming to do that in spring 2026. Now, we have launched an interest list for this. So if this is something that you think you might be interested in for your setting, I would really encourage you to fill in the interest list here. I'm just going to pop that form in the chat there for you, and that will help us keep you informed when these books are available for purchase and we're able to open pre-orders. So it's an interest list that I've just shared there in the chat. So we're looking to print these books in spring 2026. I know you have lots of questions about that, and it's really exciting to bring them to you finally. Okay, so there's one further update I'd like to share about the Rhino Readers and what we're doing. We have created a brand new fluency assessment and intervention package to support that reading fluency as well as phonics catch-up. And this package has a few parts to it. The first thing that it has is a set of leveled fluency assessments, and they help you to check your learners' phonic knowledge, word reading, sentence fluency, and comprehension in one handy package. You can use these assessments in either a paper or a digital format. They'll guide you to the best Rhino Readers book level for your learners. You can either print out the paper or you can use the PowerPoint with the learners to show them. And you can use them as formative assessment, but they also do fit nicely alongside the Twinkl Phonics assessment points as well, as sort of a hint to where your children are at that point. So that's the first key part of this intervention assessment tool that we've made. The second part of it is a collection of 60 downloadable, printable, decodable texts, and these match the existing Rhino Readers levels, so they slot right into the scheme if you're using it, and that's for you to use with any learners that you feel would benefit from a bit more practice at reading within a certain level before moving on. So just to consolidate fluency and reading development. They can be used as a complement to the existing Rhino Readers books. They've got a similar layout. There's a section at the start for phonics rehearsal. There's when you've got your text, your decodable text, and then there's a section for after reading discussion and comprehension too. So there's lots of ways that potentially they could be used, but we've really thought about fluency and developing those skills of automaticity and comprehension as well when we've been putting them together. So the final bit is that the intervention obviously contains all the individual and group tracking sheets that you need and lots of comprehensive guidance on how you can use those fluency assessments and mini reads within your setting. So there's lots to explore around the Rhino Readers intervention package if you haven't used it yet. I do encourage you to have a quick look. We'll be sharing some of the links to all of these resources in our roundup, as Charlotte explained. This one's called the Rhino Readers Intervention Programme, and you can find it by going through www.twinkl.co.uk/reading-schemes. It's a bit of a tricky one to think of. I could pop it in the chat for you as well. But that's definitely something to have a look at if you're keen to boost fluency with your learners this year. And I think now I'm handing back to Becky.
Thank you, Jo. So for the second year, we have published our calendar of free virtual CPD. So this year we've increased the number of 30-minute CPD sessions. So now there are 18 across the year, covering topics such as teaching phonics to learners new to English and using digital tools to support phonics. We also continue to have our Phonics Leaders Network, which has 6 sessions across the year, our SEND network, which is now expanded to have 6 sessions too, and a brand new Key Stage 2 network, which has 3 sessions, 1 per term throughout the year. All of our network events are an opportunity to connect with other educators using the Twinkl Phonics programme, and also a professional development opportunity led by the Twinkl Phonics trainers. We also continue to have our English and phonics focused TeachMeets, which are spearheaded by our national education leads, the first one of which is on the 8th of October, and that will focus on the links between phonics and oracy in early years. We now, alongside offering our bespoke school training, are also offering training for individual educators who might be new to the Twinkl Phonics schools or might have missed the whole school training sessions. We're running these training sessions half-termly and offer an EYFS and Key Stage 1 route and a Key Stage 2 route. These sessions run for 3 hours in total and cover everything that we would cover in a whole school training session half day when a school is new to the Twinkl Phonics programme. So within the early years and Key Stage 1 route, we would cover the fundamentals of phonics, the structure and delivery of the Twinkl Phonics program, and a level 3 lesson walkthrough. And while this is level 3 focused, of the elements of which are relevant to all levels. And then in the Key Stage 2 route, we will cover the fundamentals of phonics again, although this focuses on building the skills through the children's reading journey and referring back to its relevance to Key Stage 2, the Twinkl Phonics Decoders intervention, and phonics in the Key Stage 2 classroom. Our first session of the year are happening in October. So for details of that or to inquire about booking these, you can email phonics.training@twinkl.co.uk. And pass to Becca.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to talk you through the recent and upcoming changes and updates that we've had to the digital companion for Twinkl Phonics scheme, which is the Twinkl Phonics app. So June 2024 saw some big changes to the app, and you'll have noticed these if you've been using the app at all over the last year. One of the most noticeable changes was the update to the name. So previously, when we launched, we were called Twinkl Phonics for Web. This name made perfect sense because we were purely a web-based app. We were accessible online through a web browser. However, in June 2025, we launched a version of the app on Apple's App Store for iOS mobile devices. So the name no longer worked in quite the same way. So we updated the name to the Twinkl Phonics app to better reflect that increased accessibility. So both versions of the app are still fully aligned with the Twinkl Phonics SSP program. Twinkl Phonics for Web itself hasn't changed. We've just sort of changed the name. So that element is unchanged. So during the last year, we've also been steadily increasing the coverage of our app content. So we now have games and activities available that cover all of the essential phonics skills for levels 1 right through to the end of level 6. And I have just linked a handy blog there that you can read through offline to learn more about those updates. And I've also linked the user guide, and that QR code there will take you directly to the landing page for the app. So both of these are full of information about how the app can be incorporated into your phonics teaching. Just going to quickly run through the different options that we now have available for accessing the Twinkl Phonics app. So that little screen clipping at the top there is taken from the landing page. So when you find that on the landing page, you can click on the black App Store button and download the iOS app from Apple's App Store. And once it's downloaded, adults, you can use your Twinkl Ultimate or Twinkl Schools account login details to log in to the app. And your learners can use their learner login details in exactly the same way as they would use them to access the web version. If you don't have either of these, then you can choose to just pay an individual in-app subscription, and that will give you access just to the Twinkl Phonics app on your iOS devices. So for the iOS app, we currently have level 1 and 2 available now. And then level 3 and 6 are in their final development stages at the moment and arriving very soon. So we hope to see those landing in the app in October. And then that will be full coverage on the iOS app from levels 1 through 6. For the web app, once you're logged into the Twinkl website, you can launch the app from the landing page using that blue web app button. And that will prompt you to log in as either an adult or a learner. Learners can also find their way directly to the Twinkl Phonics app by logging into their learner dashboard at twinkl.co.uk/learn, which I've just linked on there, and use their learner login details. And that will take them to their learner dashboard, so they'll be able to see all the different apps that they've been assigned there. So children can use a mix of both the web app and the iOS app, depending on where they are and what devices they've got available, and the data will sync between the different platforms and their progress will follow them, so long as they're connected on their iOS device to the internet. If they play offline for a while, once they rejoin or relink up to the internet, then that data will sync across to the web version. Okay, I think that was a very quick run through, but I think that's covered everything for the app. So back to Becky.
So for the first time this year, the Twinkl Phonics Reading Money books are now available to purchase. So you can buy individual levels or a complete set of levels 2 to 6. However you buy them, you will receive 10 copies of each weekly mini book. Each mini book is A5 and printed on 170 GSM paper, providing a more durable alternative to printing them yourselves. The mini books are also available as part of some of our physical products bundles, which are on this next page. So you can see here we have a Twinkl Phonics resource bundle there that is priced at £499.99, saving over £140 if you bought them individually. That includes the mnemonic and common exception word flashcards for EYFS level 5 and 6, sound mats, letter formation and freeze posters, Kit and Sam dolls, the whole scheme posters, and a full set of mini books, so that's levels 2 to 6, 84 decodable texts, 10 copies of each, so 840 books there. And then you can have, on the other side, there's the Twinkl Reading Bundle, which retails at £799.99, which saves you over £450 on buying them separately. Within that bundle, you get 128 Rhino Readers books, the full set of mini books again, and 50 Twinkl Originals books, so 1018 books in total. And they are all available to look at the details of on the store, and they can be purchased through the store, which I will link now, or you can contact the schools team to purchase them as well. Just a reminder that all of the Twinkl Phonics resources can be accessed on the Twinkl Phonics landing page, which you can find by typing phonics into the search bar and clicking on the colourful logo, or by typing in twinkl.co.uk/phonics as well. And to stay up to date and connected with other Twinkl Phonics customers, you might think about joining one of our Twinkl Phonics school support groups. We have a UK support group and an international one, and this is the first place to find out about any new resources or events that we're having opportunities to help us develop the programme and receive updates. We also have the phonics training team in there, so they're there if you need support, or you can connect with colleagues to find out how other people are getting on with using Twinkl Phonics too.